Shalom, shalom, brothers. It's Brother Kamal Mahar here, back at it again. First thing first, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi Bahasham Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa Qadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders I learned this truth from GMS. Blessing to the Akimadar preaching his word, whole heart, true sincerity. And blessing to 144,000 and 1/3 entirely, the first fruits kingdom of heaven, house of David, Yaf Dawadah. Shalom to you brothers out there speaking different tongues and looking in different nations. Shalom to you, brothers. So back at it again, brothers, with another personal video. Haven't put up a personal one in a little second, because I've been out with my brothers at camp on the highways and hedges. So, if you brothers want to check those out, go to my community tab on my channel, and then you'll see, the days I don't actually drop one of these, I will be out on the highways and hedges with my brothers, preaching his word in the chief place of concourse. On the highways and hedges, man, where the Lord wants us to be in particular. But back at it again with this one, brothers, man, to, I actually want to get in the video on Esau, man. A lot of times I come off of with comfort for brothers, the kingdom of heaven, spiritual power, uplifting, faith, that's my lot. But you know what, though, man, like Revelations 19:10 say, the spirit of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. And who is our twin brother, our evil twin brother, Esau? The so-called white man, right? But the same record, hey, our brother, or we don't like really saying that, but in the womb, Jacob's brother was Esau. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, Esau was set up to be the wicked, and was set up to be, the rulers of this time, to show us what evil looks like and unrighteousness looks like. So that way, it makes sense that when the Lord comes back and deliver his elect, and then go wage war with the world, and then put all the nations into slavery, and then 1,000 years Esau get wiped out, it's justified. And that's the point of this video, that Esau broke the brotherly covenant, and after 1,000 years of slavery, when slavery is up, Esau will be eradicated, or what you would call extinct. I'm not sure if this video will last pretty long, or if it'll hang up there, but, prophecy is prophecy, and the Lord says to eat the whole roll. And this is part of the roll and part of prophecy that actually needs and is required to happen. It's been written since the time, since the world began, right? But matter of fact, let me just go a little bit on Esau, man. You know what I mean? Because Esau, Job 9:24. Right? Job 9:24, which we call Israelite 101. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And that's blasphemy, man. And how does Esau do that? What they do is they're in rulership, right? And what did they do? They turn, the likeness of Yahawashi into a pale-skinned, so-called white man with long, slicky hair, when that's further from the truth, because in Revelations 1:13, it says he has white woolly hair as white as snow, kind of like a Morgan Freeman brother, right? And also his feet like unto the fine brass, which lets you know his skin complexion is like fine brass, as if it was burnt in the furnace. He's a dark melanated brother, kind of like Michael J. White or Wesley Snipes, or a type of brother, a dark-skinned, chocolate dark brother, right? So, and that's what they did. They covered the faces of the judge thereof, and made, in Yahweh, obviously in Revelations 4 and starting at 3, it tells you that John the Revelator and looked into the heavens and saw a throne, and the likeness and the skin complexion of Yahweh, which is the heavenly Father, was like as if a sardine stone and a jasper stone, which are darker or different shades of a dark brown or a brown like stones. So he was saying, though, that the complexion of the Lord was also woolly hair, like it says in Daniel, and also that the fact that the Lord's complexion is a jasper and a sardine stone, which is a brown like me, or look the stone up. But when you cover the faces of the judges thereof, right, and you turn the likeness into your own self, hey man, that's wicked. Look at the Russian icons in Russia. They're praying to melanated, dark-skinned men, and they're Edomites. Well, Edomite-looking people. You know what I mean? My brothers had corrected me on that, but there's a lot of Edomites in Russia. But hey, those are so-called looking white men people worshiping darker skinned icons, or what you would call the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. His name is Yahawashi. And that's wicked. And then you will go, okay, well, okay, well, and this is not proving who Esau is, but I will elaborate on it. When it goes into what is that? Malachi 1 and 4. It also tell you that Esau is the wicked. Malachi 1 and 4. Matter of fact, starting at the top. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein thou hast loved us, was not Esau Jacob's brother? Right? It says, saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom, which is also another Edom, which goes into Ashashua, or Esau is Ashashua, which means wasted away, but in Edom, which means red, because their blood goes forth through their skin. So when they get mad, they turn red. When they get hit, they turn red. When they're in the sun, they get red. They get frustrated, they get red. That's what they are. They're red people, not white people. That social class was created in, I believe, 1861, I believe. You can look that up. But it says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. Thus saith the Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa Qadash. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So when it goes into the wicked of the scriptures, it's talking about Esau, Edom. Now, obviously, our people, Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Seminole Indians, have done wickedly as well, and also been in wickedness as well. I think James James 4, James 6 and 44, or 4 and 48. One of the, matter of fact, let me just go look that up one time. I think it's James. It might be James or John. Let me see something. Wait a minute. I know it was, let me see, 4. Nah, it might be, it either could be James, because James only got a couple. Let me see, 4. Nah, it's losing me. Where it says, you are the father, you devil. You are of the father, your father, the devil, which going into our people, but how they be worshiping, other gods and doing the same things the heathen do. I find it. It's not that deep right now. Let me see something. This is my last attempt, and I'm gonna let it go. I know I'm close. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Right, there you go. And I believe in this particular John, it was going into our people, but it was going into the relation of Satan, how he moved and how we related to it. We're going along with it, if I'm not mistaken. But Esau, you know what I mean, is set up to be the wicked, man. And wickedly, you got to understand, Esau didn't like us. Esau didn't like his brother because of the birthright. You know what I mean? So, and that's why there's a perpetual hatred towards us. And because of it, they broke the brotherly covenant. Matter of fact, man, you know what? For understanding purposes, let's get into it. Genesis, the 27th chapter, I believe. It's more mainly at the end. So when Jacob got the blessing, right? Jacob got the blessing due to his mom and him. She pretty much, but it was set up from the beginning. But she pretty much, found out that Esau went out to go cook some food for his father Isaac, and Isaac was going to come. When Esau came back, Isaac was going to give him a blessing. It was going to be the kingdom of heaven, the everything that Jacob has now. And while Esau was out, Rebecca set up a nice little strategy where she manipulated Jacob's body, arms, smell to resemble Esau, because Isaac wouldn't tell, because he was getting so old that his eyes was tricking into him and kind of blinded him. So he wasn't able to see that well anymore. So she manipulated Jacob's body and smell and arms and physical to pretty much resemble Esau. That way, she cooked up the same thing Esau was going to make for his father. And while Esau was out, Jacob was disguised as Esau from his mom. And while doing so, Isaac ate the food, and then the blessing was given to Jacob. The kingdom of heaven, the promises, the service of the Lord. You can read that in Romans 9 and 4. Who are Israelites pertaining to, and then that list will be what the blessing is. And also you can read Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14, which also is the part of the blessings that Jacob has, that Esau was going to get because he was the oldest son. But because it was set up by the Lord, Jacob was supposed to get it in the first place. Remember, Esau sold his birthright when he was starving. So Jacob made him some food, and it made a bet that if I make you this food, you'll sell me your birthright. And Esau agreed. And so through the Spirit, the Lord had it set up to where Jacob did end up getting it, which in return Esau did sell it. But once Esau came back to get a blessing, it was already given to Jacob, and it pissed him off. And he was crying about it, which I'm going to get in that in Hebrews. And so Isaac blessed him with the sword and the fatness of the earth thereof, as of right now, which in the rulership we're living in at this moment. And then once he got that, it pissed him off, because now Esau knew the magnitude of the blessing that his brother got, which is far more better than his. But even though Esau's is awesome at where he's at right now, he's the leader of the world. He does what he does. But what you going on is, so let's go read Genesis 27:39, which when Esau got his blessing after he wept, after he cried. Let's go start at 38. This is when Esau cried when the blessing went to Jacob and not him. So he figured that he wasn't going to get a blessing. So he cried to his father to get at least something. And then this is what Isaac gave him. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. He cried about it. That's a tough loss. It really is. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And this is why Esau is the ruler of the world, got satellites up. They're in everybody's territory. They can do what they want. They have so-called white privilege. They're the billionaires and the trillionaires. They're elites of the world. They rule the world. They're the top banking families. That's why they're set up the way they are right now. And this is also another one of their blessings, and why they're so good at this. And for the reason why they're up in these high places is because of this. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. Right? So now the sword will thou live. So their blessing is the sword. So now they're able to, they have their blessing is the sword, which gave them the abilities to create weapons, atomic bombs to rule the world, guns, bullets, different type of swords, and all types of missiles, and ICBM missiles, nuclear bombs, etc. The same thing. The tanks to the robots, all of that is Esau's blessing, for the reason why he's so gifted at it, right? And it says, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off his neck. And he did that. Now here's the point. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing whereof his father blessed him. There it is. He hated him. So now that he know that he lost that Esau took a major L. The blessing that Jacob got is so far more greater than Esau's. It's unbelievable. And then what happens is Esau also knows how close he was of getting it, and then he didn't get it, because now what Jacob's name is called, Jacob it means supplant, which means like a con artist, or like a manipulator. It's kind of like, Jacob manipulated Esau to get his blessing, if you want to call, or supplanted him, or a con artist, right? And it says, Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing whereof his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I what? Slay my brother Jacob. And that's against the law of what you want to do. And because Esau feel like that and attempted this and had a perpetual hatred all the way up, you can read that in Ezekiel 35 and 5 to the point. And read 5 and 6 in Ezekiel 35, it will go into perpetual hatred and the blood that he shed. And this is the reason why. This is the perpetual hatred started after Jacob got the blessing. And that's what it is. You know what I mean? So that's why they hate us so much, but also why they've been moving the way they're moving, for the reason why in the latter end they have to be destroyed and cut off because of how the atrocities they've been doing over the course of years after this moment. We can go to the book of, let's get to the nitty gritty of this. Job chapter 18. We're going to start at, I have 14, but I'm start up a little bit. It says, let's start at, start at 5. No, I'll start at 4. He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? And shall the rock be removed out of his place? Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. Right. And it's talking about the light of the wicked shall be put out is everything about him. You know what I mean? His higher glory, his pedestal. You know what I mean? When the Lord talking about bringing down Esau down, how thou art Lucifer had been fallen from heaven, right? You know, this rulership, everything about him is going to be put out. And it says, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, which means difficult, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. You can read something similar to that. That's Psalms the 7th chapter at the very bottom, where his the things that he do shall fall upon his own pate. And it says, verse 9, the gin shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Right, kind of like the Haman spirit. But you can also read that in Psalm 7 at the bottom. And it says, terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors, which is like Yahawashi. And it says, it shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. And that's talking about his bloodline, his whole heritage, which he has none. But talking about his whole bloodline being wiped out. That's actually talking about being extinct from the world, man. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. So there's going to be a point in time where Esau is going to be eradicated off the earth, and as generations go after that, nobody's going to remember who Esau is. You're going to have to go to a museum to understand what an Edomite was. You know, the Lord is cutting them off completely because he broke the brotherly covenant, man. Right? And then it's right here, it's further more elaborate. This is prophecy, man. 19, he shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining of his dwellings. That's utter extinction. That's wiped out off the whole face of the earth, man. Because they are the wicked. Because you got to remember, when the kingdom of heaven is going to be established, it's going to be full of righteousness. And then you got to remember in Isaiah the 2nd chapter, you know, once the Israelites of the elect of the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indians, once the 144,000 is established from Yahawashi to King David and on down, to 144,000, right? They're the government body, and the law, statute, and commandments is going to be instituted over the course of the whole world. So the whole world is going to have to know, it's going to have to be under the law, under the 613 laws of the Bible, under the Israelites in their rule. So there's not going to be no room for wickedness at all, because any wickedness will be cut off from that point. Because remember, the heathen, the heathen outside of Israelites are still going to be in terrestrial bodies, so they're going to be prone into what you call sin. But in that day, then that's when the heathen's going to be able to sin, because they're going to be under the law, statute, commandments of Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa 144,000 and down. And so the world's going to have to live by the Bible. There's not going to be different religions. It's going to be one religion. It's going to be the scriptures of the Bible. And the first five books of Moses, which is the Torah, is going to be the law, and that's going to be instituted around the world. And everybody around the world's got to learn what we're giving out. And that's when everybody else in the world is going to be what you call able to sin, because of that particular manner of our rulership, right? And it's going to be full of righteousness in general. It's going to be is either the right way or die or do the right things. It ain't no in between. Ain't going to be no grace period at that time frame. It's going to be if it's worthy of death, then you're going to go. It is what it is. Follow the rules or not, right? So, and because Esau is the wicked, and there's not going to be no room for that there. So they have to be eradicated off the face of the earth, because you got to remember, when you go to Job, and here's another reason why. Job, no, I don't think it's Job. Psalms 58 and 3, right? Here's another reason why the Lord got to get rid of them. It says, the wicked, or who are the wicked, Malachi 1:4, the border of wickedness is Esau. The wicked are estranged from the womb. You know what? Start at 2. Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth, right? Because remember, Esau was given the blessing of the sword, and you shall live by the sword, and that's what they do. They rob, rape, and pillage everything they got. You can go to Micah 2:1 and 2 and explain that as well. It said, "Woe to them that do wickedness. Woe to them that do iniquity." Let me just bring it out. Woe to them that devise iniquity upon their beds, because every morning they practice it, because it's in the power of their hand, right? They have the power to do so, so that's why they do that. That's what it is, pretty much verbatimly. But Psalms 58 and 3, it says, well, sorry, 2 again. Yeah, in heart you work wickedness, and you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth, right? Kind of like Micah 2:1 and 2. I think it's Micah 2:1. And it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. From the rip. Like from the rip. So you got to remember, their spirit is built up and made on wickedness. So the Lord got to play that out. So the Lord ain't got time for a wicked spirit being in the world, and you're programmed to do wickedness in the kingdom of heaven. The Lord ain't got time for that. It was a time and place for that for the moment that we're in now. But when the kingdom of heaven is established, the wickedness ain't no time for wickedness. Either you're going to do right, or remember, it's the kingdom of heaven. It's utter glory and magnificence. There's no room for flaws and failure with that. It's utter perfection when it comes to the kingdom of heaven. And the wicked are full of failures and wickedness, and that's opposite from the kingdom of heaven, which is full of righteousness. It's Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa kingdom as of heaven, as it is in heaven on earth. Remember that. It's going to be as it is in heaven on earth. Utter heavenly, like celestial perfectness on earth. The Lord ain't got no time for wicked shit. So when that's established, wickedness is here now, rule for a temporary situation, and then when the righteousness comes, that gotta go. Right? Back to Job 18. And they right, and it says verse 20, they that come after him shall be astonished and at his day as they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwelling of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not Yahweh. Right. So it's gonna be some scary thing. They gonna see how they got dealt with, and like we ain't trying to be like that. Right? And I'm gonna go ahead and end this off with, because Isaiah 14 goes into the same thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this off with Obadiah. Obadiah is actually the judgment of the Edomites. And when you go to 18, it says, okay, so, all right, so I'm gonna read Obadiah 1, starting at 8, 10, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna go scrolling to 18. It says, Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the Mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the Mount Esau may be cut off by slaughter. You see that? Every one of them, all of them. And it says, For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. You see that? Remember Genesis 27, what Esau did after Jacob got the blessing. He went after him and tried to kill him, and then it's been a perpetual hatred pursuing Ezekiel 35, 5, and 6 will explain that as well. But Genesis 27 will explain how it all started. And then you go to 18. It says, And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them, and shall devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Yahawashi Bahasham. I write this out as edifying to you, brothers, Lord willing. And give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa Qadash. Yahweh, he is to be, exists by Hashem in the name, and only begotten Son, the Lord and Savior, Yahawashi Bahasham in the name, and the Holy Spirit of Rachaa Qadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders that learn the truth from GMS. Blessing to the Achaman preaching his word with heart to sincerity. I said 144,000, 1/3 entirely, the first fruits kingdom of heaven. That's David, that would die. And shalom to brothers out there speaking different tongues and looking different nations. Shalom to you, brothers.